Welcome back to our People's Eagle podcast. Last topic we ended with spirituality and space. We thought we'll get into a little more deeper subject like afterlife. Our curiosity about afterlife.
Let me speak about the book called Garuda Purana.
Garuda Purana. Yeah.
We all know who is Brahma.
Yes.
Brahma who created the whole universe. Let me give a story about Brahma. When we speak Brahma, we are speaking about causal world. Physical, astral and causal world. Three different worlds in spirituality. In causal world, it's all about dream, consciousness.
Okay.
So the Brahma in causal world creates Rishi Kashyap in his dream. This Rishi Kashyap is our ancestor. So Rishi Kashyap has to create all the living beings in the earth, living creatures. So he married sisters Vinata and Kadru. These sisters Vinata and Kadru has to give birth to different living creatures.
Okay.
So they have their own request to Rishi Kashyap. Vinata request Rishi Kashyap that my children has to be so powerful in this earth. Similarly, Kadru requests Rishi Kashyap that her children should spread all over the earth. The Nagas which we know today comes from the Kadru, the children of Kadru and Rishi Kashyap. Now, Vinata gives birth to Garuda. Garuda is so powerful. Kadru, the sister of Vinata, gets jealous of her sister because she has a very powerful son. So she deceives her with black magic, makes her sister as her slave. Now Vinata is slave of Kadru. Even Garuda is a slave of Kadru. To escape this slavery, Nagas and Kadru demands Amrita from heaven. Since Garuda is so powerful, even Kadru knows that Garuda can get Amrita from heaven. Now Garuda goes to heaven, fights with Indra and gets the Amrita to Nagas and Kadru, his stepmother. When he gives the Amrita to Nagas, he says, if you have to drink the Amrita, you have to first take bath in Ganges. When Nagas goes to take bath in Ganges, Devas from Devloka heaven takes this Amrita from them.
Oh, in the meantime.
And similarly, how Kadru deceived Vinata and Garuda to become their slave, Garuda deceived Nagas and Kadru from Amrita.
Oh, took it back.
But Garuda is so good that when it took Amrita from heaven and gave it to Nagas, it didn't even taste the Amrita. So looking at this quality of Garuda, Devas gave him the boon. Garuda requested the Devas that without having any demerit, I want to kill all the Nagas. This can only happen if snakes or Nagas are your natural food.
Oh.
So that is how snakes becomes the natural food of eagle. This is one of the story. Garuda is so powerful. Rishi Kashyap once tells Garuda that look at the Valakila sages. They are hanging upside down in one branch. You should go and hold that branch. So this is happening in astral world. These Valakila sages have left their body and waiting for their rebirth, and they're hanging in that branch. Garuda wants to know more about it. He wants to know the secrets of death, afterlife. So when he asked Rishi Kashyap why I should hold the branch, so Rishi Kashyap says, even I don't have enough knowledge about it. You should go and ask Vishnu. So Garuda flies with his wings to Vaikunta, requests this information from Vishnu. Vishnu agrees to tell this information with only condition that he should not be angry to Nagas anymore.
Okay.
And also Garuda has to agree that he has to become Vahana of Vishnu.
Oh.
Vishnu wants to travel all over the galaxy through Garuda. He agrees for that. Garuda's quest for knowledge is so high. Now Vishnu agrees to give all the information. Garuda gets the information about death, life and all the knowledge is required. This is the reason we have kept our channel's name as People's Eagle.
Mhm.
So eagle, people's eagle, which is Garuda himself. We are trying to give the information to people, and since Garuda is epitome of knowledge,
Hmm.
we kept the
So,
name as
Because when
people's
you
eagle.
said people's eagle initially, I was like, yeah, let's go. It's fine. Let's go with it. Now this is the meaning.
I'll explain how the knowledge of Garuda is transferred to people. Garuda passed all his learning to his father Kashyapa, who in turn passed it on to Brigu, the sage who traveled the three worlds, from whom it passed to Vashishta, the guru of the solar dynasty, who told it to Parashra, guru of the lunar dynasty, who passed it on to Vyasa, the organizer of Vedic hymns, who imparted it on the storyteller Roma Harshana, who narrated it to the sages in Naimishi forest, where this knowledge came to be known as Garuda Purana. So, Garuda Purana is a book which we all know.
Yeah, I've
But-
heard of Garuda Purana.
Yeah.
But whenever I listen to something called Garuda Purana, it's only punishments.
Yes, yes.
Is it like that?
It's a punishment of afterlife, which we'll speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is all about Garuda Purana, the initial stories of Garuda Purana.
Mhm.
This book, like you asked me, is written by Devdutt Patnaik, Garuda Purana. This is just a summary of the main Garuda Purana. Very good book. I have read this. We will definitely recommend this book to the viewers. Now you know the reason of having the name as People's Eagle. We will get into the topic now.
Okay.
We want to speak about afterlife, secrets of afterlife.
All the entities of afterlife. I mean, there are so many questions when you go into such a topic, right?
Sure.
Like, first of all, life. Now, afterlife. That means there is something before life also, right? If there is something called afterlife.
Definitely.
If there is something like that, it creates a cycle, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the cycle of rebirth, reincarnation, everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let me give a brief about it. When we take a physical body, what is inside our physical body is Atma. Atma. Every person.
Atma means soul.
Soul. Every person has his own Atma. And the Paramatma is the ultimate God. If we say we are in the ocean, ocean is Paramatma, and a droplet of water is Atma. Then what is Preta?
Okay.
Preta is when a person's Atma has left his body,
Okay.
just left his body, becomes a Preta. So Preta can live for some months, some years, or thousands of years.
Depending upon its karmic
karma,
structure.
depending
and all
on
that.
karma. If Preta gets stuck in this world, Bhuloka,
Okay.
and it is not able to go to the Yamaloka, then it will become Bhuta. If it again lives here for longer and longer time, then it becomes Pishacha.
That might be again about 1,000 years or something like that.
1,000 years, maybe 500, 600 years.
So they're more powerful.
They're more powerful.
Okay.
And also, when a new Preta comes, Pishacha can attack. Pishacha are more powerful. They can irritate the Pretas. Pretas have just left the body. Then what is Pitra?
Pitra.
Pitra is when this Preta has gone to Yamaloka.
Okay.
Yamaloka, they have seen his karmic karma, bad karma and good karma, and upon that either he has gone to heaven or hell, and after that he is waiting for rebirth.
Okay.
That waiting souls are known as Pitra. So then it becomes rebirth. Then once we leave the body, we become Preta and go to Bhutaloka. From Bhutaloka, our souls are taken by the Yamas Dutas through a river called Vaitarni. It's most
Like how? Like in a boat? Usually
very
that
good point.
symbolizes, that symbolism comes up, right?
Yeah, it also depends upon the person's karma again.
Oh.
If the person's karma is good, he is taken in the boat.
Oh, like that.
If the person's karma is bad, he is hanged with the iron rod and he is dragged in that river.
Oh my God.
God,
Scary.
scary. And also that rivers is full of pus and bloods and everything. It's not a normal river.
It's a
like
very disgusting river. Ah.
very bad river.
Okay.
So the Yamadutas are flying.
Huh.
The Preta who wants to go to Yamaloka is in that
Toiling
river.
and, yeah.
There. Now that Preta has reached to Yamaloka. In Yamaloka, they see the merits and demerits, what they have done, good or bad. Upon that, they can either go to Swarga or higher heavens.
Okay.
When we say Swarga itself is good,
Hmm.
but higher heaven is Vaikunta and few other higher heavens.
Okay.
It's still beautiful. If the person is full of, he's a papi, he has done all bad things in earth,
Bad karma.
bad karmas, and
Okay.
he goes to Naraka. In Hinduism, it is not, you don't get heavens, you don't get hell for like eternity.
Hmm.
There is a certain amount of period.
Okay.
After that, you have to take rebirth.
Hmm.
After you enjoy Swarga, after you get punished in Naraka, you have to come to Pitraloka, where, like I explained, Pitra are hanging in the branches, like sages I explained initially.
Hmm.
Similarly, the Pitra is hanging in one of the branches, and once they get a yoni, they find the womb of a woman and take a rebirth.
Oh, until one is ready
One is ready for
giving birth.
giving birth,
Hmm.
and he can
And also in terms of that entity or soul,
yeah
till that soul has reached that point where it can take a rebirth now.
yes
To
It-
continue the cycle.
to continue the cycle. It can only take rebirth based on its karma again.
Hmm.
So it cannot take rebirth on random places and random like parents.
You
it
know
can't
that
take it.
actually I have one more doubt here.
Yeah.
What about these people who commit suicide or people who are murdered?
Yeah, I have read about it.
Huh.
What happens there is you take rebirth, but you don't live for long again.
I cannot put suicide and murder in one category. They're separate,
They're
right?
separate.
Because murder, it's an accident or some kind of an external one, but suicide is like an own decision made.
Suicide is bad.
Yeah.
The next birth you might be dead within some months,
Hmm.
or immediately coming out of womb you might die.
This reincarnation, it's based on people's karma and how they come back in the required state, probably. Like you said, if the suicide souls take a rebirth, right? You said they live for a short period of time.
Very
So
short
I'm
period of
asking-
time. So it's all about willpower.
Mhm.
If the soul's willpower is to stay back and fight and live,
Mhm.
it will live.
Oh,
If the soul wants to die, even in next birth it will die fast.
Hmm.
So it's all about what you want, what you desire for.
Mhm.
If you desire to be a very good teacher,
Okay.
definitely the next birth you will be a very good teacher.
Okay.
If you desire to be a businessman, you will be a businessman in next birth. What you desire for and what desires are unfulfilled,
Hmm.
that happens during rebirth.
Okay, but now that leaves me with one more thing. You know, in Buddhism, I've heard this. I don't know if it's Pretasana or what, but I think it's translated into hungry ghosts.
Okay.
So, in terms of hungry ghosts, that's where these things come. Like you said, right? They have this desire to become something in their next birth, or they have unfulfilled desires, but that is where they become hungry ghosts because they have that. I mean, that all I'm saying is that it implies again reincarnation, rebirth.
Rebirth. See what happens. What you're saying, that desire is different, and what I'm saying desire is different.
Okay.
My desires are for the next birth, which is deep inside my consciousness, which even I might not know.
Do you think revenge can become like that? Revenge?
Revenge, definitely. What you're saying, revenge makes a preta pishacha.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the desire, what I said, makes the preta go to Yamloka and again Pitraloka and comes again as a rebirth.
So, like, there is category for desires also.
There is a category for desires also.
But this is all again under moral standards, right? Some kind of a moral principle is there. Good and bad. It comes back to good and bad.
Yes.
I think that's where the world gets separated in that one point. Good and bad, right?
Yes. Good and bad.
I'll talk about it. Do you have more to say about it?
I want to ask about difference between West and East spirituality of afterlife. Because you know about it.
Not completely, I'm not an expert, but uh, Jesus and Satan on one side. In India, it's a complete mixture. On one side of the scope, it's like, there is no good, there's no bad. There's just beings everywhere who live their own nature out. Otherwise, there is
Devas and Asuras.
that there's always some kind of fight going on
Fine,
between
always
them. It's like,
they want to control the whole universe,
hmm,
and there is always a fight between the Devas and Asuras.
hmm,
The Asuras are always behind Indra,
hmm,
because Indra is into the luxury of Swarga.
hmm,
The Vishnu is not like that.
Mhm.
Vishnu enjoys sleeping, and he doesn't take anything from Swarga. He doesn't enjoy anything in
Mhm.
Swarga. He is into dreaming, into consciousness. He's into meditating into the absolute and all that. But the Indra is into enjoying the heaven, which Asuras don't like.
oh,
If Asuras attack Devaloka, they will attack first Indra,
hmm,
because he has everybody there. He has the god of fire, Agni, Vayu, everybody
Mhm.
reporting to him, and the Asuras attack him. Asuras also quite powerful. Just I explained about Garuda.
Hmm.
Garuda can defeat Indra easily.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So Garuda is very knowledgeable and more powerful than Indra.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, then in the West, right, it's like Jesus and Satan, like most of the times, that's what we've heard, Jesus and Satan. But what do you think was there, or who do you think was there before Jesus? Because if you say Jesus and Satan, that means Satan also started from then only, right? Then who do you think was there before that?
see, Satan, can it be a Pishach?
Everyone have their own beliefs and we respect it, but I have this one thought, okay, that Satan or whoever that person is or that entity is Shiva.
Is it?
Yeah.
Quite surprised with your answer.
The thing is, I'm not saying it's a definitive. I just try to connect the dots and see. One is the trident.
Okay.
Three, the trident. But apart from that, in India, Lord Shiva, there are thousands of names that you can call him. Usually, he roams around with a lot of demonic entities, right? Called deformed, deformed in so many ways. He has friends from the good, the bad, whatever you can call. But usually he's with demons. Now, what does Satan do? What does Satan have? He's the leader of the demons, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's why I felt maybe this thing could be a link. Because Shiva can be anywhere. It's not that Shiva is a Hindu god. You don't have to put it into a category like that. Maybe the world is too small for him, probably. He would have been everywhere, shared his knowledge in different parts of the world. According to those regions, you take up those meanings or those ideologies at that moment, at that time, and the names there. We wouldn't have taken the name Satan in India because it's not in our dictionary. Right.
Definitely, yeah.
So probably like that. People have their own beliefs. I'm just saying this as one of the thing that I thought might be a possibility.
West, they try to differentiate between the good and bad, Jesus and Satan.
Correct.
But in Hinduism, there is an explanation for everything.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I've seen. The categories are wide, right? It's not just good and bad. Like even Devas, was it Devas, Asuras, Manushas,
Yeah.
different categories.
categories.
And actually there are more. But see, in the West, if you've seen all these movies with possession, there is a soul inside the person who got possessed, right?
Yes.
So that means there is a soul according to their story also.
Yes.
That soul comes out of the body. It's not always a demonic soul in the beginning. It's a soul that came out and turned him.
Demonic,
I
definitely.
think that's where you said that. Was it Preta becomes?
Preta becomes Bhuta.
Huh.
Then after that, it becomes Pishacha.
That is probably
Yes.
the thing. Knowledge of the afterlife is there in every culture. Instead of being ignorant, if we just try to connect the dots everywhere, just like how we did right now. If you look into more of the Western ideology of Satan and God, no disrespect, just compare to India, because we are seeing everything from this point of view, right? It's like we're seeing millions of gods here.
Correct.
And other side of the world, they have just one god according to their belief system. somewhere you have a doubt, like how many gods are there, where does it end, what is the definition of it, and if there is a god there's something opposite, because we always put god into a good person, a good being, and something opposite into bad, evil. Correct. But if that's the case, god had created the universe, then how can god create good and bad both?
That's a question.
Correct. I think god is neutral, there's no good, there's no bad, just like yin and yang.
Correct.
It's a mixture of both.
But you know something about Nagas also, the reptilians.
We've seen so many in Western media, right? So
Yeah.
many YouTube channels, viral videos, the reptilian race. But we have always known about Nagas in India. In some way or form, at least some basic knowledge we have about snakes. Even to respect snakes. Correct. And we know that if we kill a snake, it has some negative influence on our life energies.
Okay.
But now, even the story that you started with about snakes.
Yeah, snakes.
And-
Snake's mother is Kadru.
Yeah, so she must be a Naga.
And Naga, again, the Rishi Kashyap is father of Naga again.
Yeah, so it always has been there in our history and our stories and mythologies.
Somewhere when you say Naga, in Western culture and Middle East culture, it is treated as demonic entities. But it's not. They are gods again. So,
Do you know the story about how Patanjali shared his knowledge to people?
no. I heard somewhere, and he was having a Naga and also human body.
Yeah, that's what they said. So this is how the story goes, okay, as far as I know.
Okay.
Shiva's snake is there, right?
Yeah,
I forgot the name of the snake.
it's okay.
Okay, either ways. People on earth asked Shiva, they wanted to know the Sanskrit grammar and learn about Sanskrit. And because they wanted knowledge to be transferred to them in Sanskrit, they went and requested Shiva. And then what Shiva did was, Shiva sent a snake. Okay, but the snake, right, he or she, I don't know, but the snake had its own condition, that if there are 1,000 students, only then I will come. And if the class and the place where it's going to teach, right, it has to be covered on all the sides. And if somebody peeps through the window, that's it, done.
Okay.
So this 1,000 students must be there always.
Okay.
And then they agree to it. He or she comes, the snake takes a form and comes, it starts teaching. It's going well. Okay. And then in the last few days, almost when it's going to end, that's when some guy from outside is very curious. So he peeps. Before that, the one student who was inside, right?
Yeah.
Out of all the days, he just felt very thirsty and he had to go out to get water.
Okay.
So without anyone knowing, he went outside.
Okay.
This another guy came and then he just looked into the window or the place, and then that place caught on fire.
Oh,
And everyone in that place burnt.
okay.
So 999 students burnt.
Okay.
So that one student was left out, right?
Okay.
The student who went to get water.
Yeah.
So that student passed off the knowledge of this one,
Okay.
Patanjali. I mean, that is the story that I've heard.
Fine.
Nagas are there like that. Then reptilian race is Nagas only, right? Cold blood, right? Nagas are very intelligent, obviously, very knowledgeable. Considering all the stories that we have heard, they definitely can be on any side of the earth. Or, yeah, maybe on this material plane, maybe in another dimension.
Okay.
If they're so knowledgeable, they might be in another dimension, right?
Correct.
And their physical features also might be different.
I also heard about Nagas being king in Southeast Asia.
Yes.
So the first king in Southeast Asia was Soma.
Hmm.
Soma was actually a Naga.
Hmm.
He was having half snake body and half human body.
Hmm.
He was not a snake, he was not human,
Hmm.
but they were the kings.
Hmm.
They had quite a good knowledge. They were ruling the world initially.
Okay.
So that gives a brief about Nagas to us.
Mm-hmm.
And the next is your favorite.
One second, before we go to that, one more Naga was there when Hanuman was going to get the mountain, right?
Okay.
There was
Sanjeevani.
one, to go to get Sanjeevani.
Okay.
One Naga came out of the water
Okay.
and try to stop him from his way.
That is, I think, when he tried to jump from India to Sri Lanka.
No, when he went to get Sanjeevani,
Sanjeevani.
that's
Okay.
when one Naga came and tried to stop him. But he
Okay.
showed his respect, later defeated the Naga and then went.
Okay.
There were so many Nagas, humanoids living, right? Then there should have been some proof in terms of bones, skeletons, all these things, right? There should have been something like that.
You know, they have found recently in
Really?
Gujarat. Yeah, they have named it as Vasuki. We just got the information 2 days back. They are doing research on that.
The next thing was
The next thing was your favorite YouTube channel,
Sam and Colby.
they're pretty genuine guys. They go to all different kind of scary locations. They use all these devices to try and see if there is any, entities there through electromagnetic field and different devices used for it. Some were scary, but mostly it's all like adventure.
Do you suggest people to watch those?
Yeah, I definitely would suggest you to go watch Sam and Colby. They're good, really good. Compared to many YouTubers that I've seen. I mean, there are many good YouTubers too, but Sam and Colby, they give a different vibe. They're nice.
So now about Jesus and Satan, Allah and Jinnah, Deva and Asuras.
See, Jesus and Satan, I told, right?
Yes.
This is the only thing. Who do you think was there before Jesus then? Do you think only after Satan came there was darkness in this world?
Definitely
Obviously
not.
not, right?
Yeah.
Satan would be like a small child in front of all this things happening. And their reason is that suddenly he became a fallen angel and darkness took over. In this podcast, we are not disrespectful to any religion, any beliefs, but at the same time, we don't want to be ignorant to any possibility. Okay. We are human beings, we have the right to speak, we have the right to express, but not at the cost of putting someone down. But I do have doubts like this, like who was there before?
Fine. So we consider Jesus, Allah and Devas on positive side. Now Satan.
No, wait. Now, even about Allah and Jinn.
Okay.
The Prophet Muhammad, Allah and Jinn.
Okay.
Now, Jinn have their own world.
Okay.
Okay. According to them, they can come out of their world anytime and still have a grasp in the material world. They can interact with the material world.
Okay.
Okay, that is what is said. But if you see other entities also, they do kind of the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. I feel all these things, they're just names in different cultures. But most of them do the same things. Correct. As human beings, then there is all these entities, afterlife, mysteries, everything. But they're all the same.
Fine.
Essentially.
We are done with that, and we have one more thing: a Middle East black
Magic. Before that, recently we have seen one post about that Christian priest speaking wrong about all the cultures.
Yeah.
All the religions.
He spoke bad, and he
Mari, Emmanuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it all about? I'm not sure.
See, I think I want to actually play that clip to the audience and show them.
Okay.
He was talking something bad about Andrew Tate. I mean, not bad. He was telling or asking why Andrew Tate changed from Christianity to being a Muslim. Okay. But then Andrew Tate's impression or his take on it is that many Christians are not having strong beliefs as they used to have before, and that they must fear God.
Fine.
And in the Muslim community, they're very disciplined, very religious, and they fear God. So he converted to Islam. Okay. And that Christianity is dying anyway. People are losing confidence. Obviously, there is one side of... It's like New Age. People have new questions, right?
Correct.
Obviously. New questions, new ideas, new understanding. So that is always there. But the thing is, these people completely dismiss one side that there is a possibility and turn towards being ignorant to that possibility. So... Mari Emmanuel, I don't know if you can call him father, but respected Mari Emmanuel. Okay. So he was saying there is no Krishna, there is no Buddha, there is no Allah, there is only one Jesus. 2 days later, he got stabbed. Yeah, but first of all, I'm really sorry for what happened to him. But at the same time, when you provoke such things into the community, right, saying that there is nobody but Jesus,
Okay.
That creates a certain ignorance, right? And those
Definitely.
people who have the highest level of dedication towards their religion, they might take any kind of action. We don't suggest violence, obviously, but there are all kind of people around the world, right? We don't believe in anything like that. There are possibilities always. Even the stories that you started out with, right?
Yeah.
We are not telling you that we are actually believing in that. We are always there with that stories. It's not like that. These are all things from India which have been there from thousands of years.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's not my
more
story.
Than thousands, more than thousands of years. In India, we have history that even dates back 10,000 years.
Correct.
Correct. There was a civilization even then. It's not that we are saying we are the greatest. I'm saying scientifically and in terms of nature, we evolved much faster at that point. So these stories have been there, and we are trying to understand the core value behind them, okay, and what it signifies, because many of the stories are symbolic, right? It has a meaning. That's how it's like having moral science classes in school. They have morals behind it, they have stories behind it that implies something that we can all understand and grow about. So yeah,
Fine.
that's the thing. Okay.
We know there is something called black magic.
It is in India, it is in East, it is in West, it is in Europe.
How about Middle East?
I've heard black magic from different parts of the world, but the Middle East one puts me on a hold. There is this one book, okay, called Shams al-Ma'arif. Okay. That is written by Hamid al-Buni.
Okay.
It was written in the 13th century. This book is said to be one of the most cursed book, okay? And anyone who wants to read this book, unless they want to die, they can. That's how they put it, okay? It contains a lot of history of Islamic religion also. That is what I've heard. But this book can drive a person into madness, insanity, because it contains a lot of knowledge. It can teach you how to have control over the demons or other entities, beings. It was written by Albuni, I said, right? He was a mathematician, philosopher in the 13th century.
Okay, I understand. There is black magic in Middle East.
Yeah, there is.
And it is haram in Muslims, Islam.
Black magic is haram anywhere, bro.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
My question is, since there is too much attack from US, have Middle Eastern countries used black magic on US? Because so many children are getting killed in schools, and the people are speaking about genders nowadays. I feel surprised. They are speaking about million genders, and they are confused about genders, and male are becoming female, female wants to be like a man. So is it about
so you're
black
talking
magic?
about the woke culture, bro. Whatever you said,
Yeah.
I'm not saying no to it, but I feel that the reason for all these things to happen,
Yeah.
it's called a woke culture, something like that. But I don't think this is the cause to it. There's one more theory behind this. After TikTok came,
Okay. Technology.
no, TikTok app. App is good, but people use it in a different way, demoralized way. The theory goes like this: it's like China. They have in their TikTok, you can see all the good content, like children studying, like practicing martial arts, women being so feminine, and like men being masculine, and everyone doing their roles correctly according to their country. But on this side, towards the US side, right, was always like full demoralized content, all stupid content. It's a different kind of war. To first get the enemy so low that their mind is not actually functioning the way that it should function,
Fine.
and then destroy them. Something
Correct.
like that. Sort of
Fine.
word.
Now,
Explain about Devil's Bible.
Oh, Devil's Bible. Right now, it's on display in National Library of Sweden, Stockholm.
okay.
But this is one of the biggest Bible written.
Okay.
It was written in the 13th century, same as that Shams al-Maharif.
Oh, it's the same person?
No. I'm saying even this was written in the 13th century.
13th century. Oh.
Yeah. So 600 plus pages were written. Okay. The story what I have heard is there's this prisoner.
Okay.
Okay, and he wrote this Devil's Bible, finished it within a night. The devil spoke to him. This is what I've heard. You said there is something else about it. It was not written in a night.
Yeah, I have heard that it is his whole life's work.
Life's work.
Yeah, the king made him write in one day. That is also a story.
That's why I asked you, because there are two sides to the story.
Yes.
You can't say which is real. But the book is there, that is real.
What is all about that book? What is there in that book?
It's same about demonology, about devil entities. These books are kind of the same. How you can take control of the demons.
Okay.
You know, use them to your advantage to harm somebody. It goes in a dark path. Help yourself for your own gains. You will put somebody or something down. Speaking about dark path, have you heard of skinwalkers?
Skinwalkers, I've seen few
Videos. I didn't understand what is all about.
This is coming from the Navajo tribe. The skinwalkers are like beings, okay, who can take form of an animal or any other creature,
Okay.
and they can go about their way for whatever deeds they have to do. I've heard many stories about skinwalkers in different ways, but I'll tell you one which I really felt was good. So those days, the way to commute was not there like how we have today, right? Like cars and everything. Even if it was bullock carts those days or chariots that they had to ride, it was too far. There is one person. Have you heard
Okay.
shaman?
Shamans, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So when somebody is ill, right, this is how they used to treat them. They were never going to hospitals like today.
Oh,
Those days, right? And if someone very important was ill very far, they couldn't cover that distance. They could transform themselves into an animal and move fast. Usually in that region is coyotes or fox or something like that. They turn into that animal and move faster. They were using it for the good. There is somebody who takes the dark path. When someone like that who wanted to become a skinwalker but wanted in a very short period of time, they go through a very dark path. These beings, after doing it with a very dark deed, they stay that way. They cannot transform back.
Okay.
Every culture have all kind of beings, afterlife beings. You don't have to fear them, neither be ignorant about it, but just know that things like this can be there.
Today we spoke a bit about spirituality. Secrets
I mean,
of
even
afterlife.
all this is part of spirituality only,
Definitely.
I am interested to do research on
Birth and rebirth.
right?
Stress on emancipation. To be one with God. So that we can stop this birth and rebirth.
Okay, yeah.
Similar concepts are there in other religion. Christianity and
Mhm.
Buddhism, Jainism.
Hmm.
This is not everybody's cup of tea.
if somebody is a labor,
He is working hard for 10 hours. I'm not able to ask him to meditate for 6 hours in a day and 3 hours in a day and do yoga. I want to get the knowledge where a person can live good life in this birth, and the subsequent birth he has to get a better life. We are going to do a research on it. We are going to get people and make them speak on that.
what is your conclusion about
Today's episode.
My conclusion is that no matter what, being human is the best. I'd never want to be one of them. You don't have to fear them. Neither should you ignore. Just know that
They're
there is a
there.
possibility for it. You don't have to believe in anything. You just have to listen to all the stories. That's
Yeah.
all.
We are going to get a few interesting guests and make them speak about it.
Till then, let's keep talking what we know, what we understand. We have this podcast. Do you have something to conclude?
Best way is to meditate, live life according to what the Bible has mentioned, what the Quran has mentioned. Very disciplined life. People who are watching, hopefully they will live the conscious life